I'm from a grimy era, let's talk about it. Gotta keep a pole, can't walk without it. Did some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. Seen some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. I'm from a hood that's thorough, they don't play here. And they don't play on these blocks, it ain't a daycare. A new kid gets shot every day here. I guess that's why my heart colder than the rain there. dvderatv back at y'all with another one. Y'all know the slogan. Let's get straight into this one. Now in the DVD era, it was a few hip-hop crews running the mainstream and the mixtape circuit, from G-Unit, State Property, Dipset, Desert Storm, and D-Block. Now, out of this wave of artists that were breaking the music industry and these crews, most of them would eventually get a chance to put out successful albums. Whether it was 50 Cent putting out Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, Young Buck in the Game, or Cameron co-signing putting out Juelz Santana from Me to You album, or even Rockefeller putting out the Young Guns who were part of State Property. But most artists in this era would eventually put out albums, especially if they was part of a crew that was making noise in the hip-hop scene at the time. Now, rapper J Hood, who was part of one of the dopest groups at the time, D-Block, would express his frustrations with never having a chance to put out a solo album while being signed to D-Block. Now, according to J Hood, he says around the time when G-Unit and Dipset was at their peak, his partners in D-Block would basically be telling him that his competition was Lloyd Banks and Juelz Santana. But being in the position that J Hood was in at this time, deep down inside, he didn't believe it.
Listen, Banks is your competition. Juelz is your competition. Can't compete with these niggas. I could try to rap and make it sound good.
Now, J Hood would even go on to mention that him and Sheek Louch almost came to blows in the studio for a situation surrounding this mindset.
And Sheek was about to get in a fight one time in the studio because of that. He's like, listen,
Juelz is your competition.
I'm like, Juelz is your competition.
Now, according to Hood, he says one day him and the guys were in the lab, and Sheek would tell him that Juelz Santana was his competition. And J Hood will reply back saying, no, that's your competition. Now, Sheek Louch wouldn't like how J Hood expressed himself and delivered his opinion and basically called Hood out for a fade.
He wasn't really feeling that. And he like, so what you saying though? I'm like, what you mean what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? He like, I'm saying like, you saying
Now, like you want to fight or something.
Now, Hood also expresses that Louch was kind of talking crazy to him, getting aggressive with him, and he felt like everybody that was there should have calmed Louch down and stop him from talking to him like that because he's their little brother and they're much older. Now, in my opinion, I feel like J Hood was just frustrated with how things was going. Lloyd Banks just put out a platinum album, and it seemed like he was getting pushed from 50, and then Juelz just put out an album that did well, and it seemed like he was getting pushed and help from Cameron, and he probably didn't feel the same. Now, even though the Lox has always been one of the most respected groups lyrically, you get what I'm saying? They didn't always have their business together like Dipset and G-Unit, so they weren't able to do certain things that other crews was doing at the time. And I think J Hood just couldn't see why he couldn't get his shot. And I feel like he kind of jumped the gun a little too early by going at them. And, he was still young at the time. He should have just, been more appreciative for what the Lox did do for him, because by them co-signing him made people see him in a different light, and it was a good look for him. But tell me what y'all think. Y'all feel like J Hood just jumped gun too early? Like, he should have sat back and then, see how things played out a little longer before going at them? Or y'all felt like he did the right thing? They was never going to put his album out anyway. They never had no intentions to. Let me know in the comments section. But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More content coming, and I'm out.